Let's take a look at some of the examples of professional learning that I have done in a variety of districts. This first one is from Gretna Middle School teachers. We had 45 minutes once a month to work with them. The idea behind it for this specific one was that the teachers were going to stretch a lesson with technology integration up the SAMR model to engage students and deepen learning. Some of the barriers that we knew going in is that the teachers would be coming in teaching several different types of subjects. They would be coming in with different technology skill levels. And we knew that due to the curriculum and pacing guides, that they would come in with a variety of topic interests. The first piece of this professional learning, we started with some direct instruction, reviewing the SAMR model, and using exemplars from their school that we had gathered from previous visits. We took a look at those exemplars and determined where they would fall on the SAMR level. The next portion was where we allowed the teachers to do a choice from this choice board. When we did this, we did a choose, do, review protocol, where they first collaborated with a subject area partner and determined what their goal for learning was going to be during their self-selected learning experience. They had approximately 20 minutes to utilize this choice board, collaborate, use other resources of their choice. But we wanted them to first select a goal. So they stated that goal out loud for us. When we're looking at this, we provided a blend of offline and online opportunities for them to learn. We also allowed them to select their path for learning. Looking at it through the UDL lens, we really tried to gain their interest by selecting something that was important to their lesson and making it more relevant and authentic. If you want a copy of this choice board to customize, we've included a link in the PowerPoint. The last step of that learning activity was an important and critical piece where each subject area group then reflected on what they learned and their next steps. We captured that as a whole group so that others could get ideas from them. The leadership team could see the progress they were making throughout the school. And then for us, the next time, we would be able to check in and see how their progress was going, any successes and any problems they had with implementing. One key part of this is the goal at the beginning before they make their choice, and then reflecting on that goal. It's really helpful to build in that self-regulation skill as they're becoming expert, resourceful learners. It also promotes expectations and beliefs. There was a time that we did not do the goal setting and reflection, and we noticed that the intentional learning was not as important to the learners as adult learners. Some of them just left the professional learning opportunity. Others sidetracked and did other activities that they felt maybe their time needed to put attention to. So if you're going to do a choice activity, I strongly suggest having them set a goal and then reflect on either what they learned, what their next steps are, or even if they chose the right choice at that time. It's the choose, do, review. This artifact is for districts across the state of Nebraska. Educators can sign up to receive the PD for Me topics from our Education Service Unit Coordinating Council. Andrew Easton spearheads this and asked me for resources to build a universal design for learning and blended learning flyer. He then compiled it into this beautiful graphic that gets emailed out, and it's full of resources, but it's built with universal design for learning in mind by the way that it's represented for the content. The teachers can choose to either view content through a variety of options such as videos or articles or blog posts. They can read, or they can also listen to some podcasts. So when we're looking at that through the lens of UDL, we're providing them multiple means of representation. And then on the website, where I have linked to all the PD for Me flyers, the teachers can actually choose based on the topic that they want to receive for the PD for Me. If you're curious, you can check them out yourself and self-select. And then my final artifact is one that we did for Papillion La Vista Community Schools. And in this one, the teachers were actually allowed to select optional webinars throughout the year as part of their professional learning. And in this one, we were stretching their technology to stretch their lessons. And I knew that coming in, there would be a variety of learners, different topics, different grade levels, because it was K through 12. I didn't have any idea who was coming into the session, and it was all going to be via Zoom. So we did our direct instruction piece at the beginning, and then I had them break in and make a choice. So using this Padlet, I had them select for a breakout room based off of what their goal was for learning. And room 1, they could meet with me as a teacher, or they could work independently and take a look at the technology integration matrix that we looked at, gain ideas so that they could stretch their own lesson. I did not, in this instance, have anybody choose to work directly with me, but that's something that you could do, is allow for people to self-select you as a facilitator to work with. And then I had rooms 2, 3, and 4 in the breakouts set up for peer-to-peer idea sharing and to stretch lessons. And I divided it based off of primary, intermediate, and secondary. So what you're seeing here is before they went into those breakout rooms, I had them create what their goal was for learning. So you can see some say my goal is to stretch a social studies lesson. My goal is to stretch my reading responses. My goal is to get ideas on how to help make lessons in co-taught classes more adaptable. So they're setting their goals, and what this allowed me as a facilitator to do is see where were they hoping that they could go for their breakout, and what were they going to be working on. And when I realized no one was going to be working with me, then I knew I could pop into those other breakout rooms and work with them if they needed any additional ideas or support. What I love about this is it gives them individual choice. It guides them by making them do that goal setting again and planning and strategizing as to where they're going to go to learn. And then it also allows me, with the use of Padlet in those breakout rooms, to manage information and resources. So I popped in some resources for them if they were going to be working independently. And then others within the peer-to-peer groups popped in resources that they shared with them. If you are curious about the link to that presentation, I've included it in that PowerPoint. Overall, I'm hoping that you have gained what we gained from this book, that universal design for learning and blended learning can create a more inclusive, more equitable, more innovative learning landscape that meets the needs of all of our learners, including adult learners in professional learning. There are so many ways that you could design your professional learning through these lenses. Thank you.